Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris, and this is a YouTube channel for sourcing European antiques for resale back in the US. I've really been interested in antiques for a long time, and for the last year, kind of moving toward this point, it was really hard to find reliable, good, consistent information on how to source European antiques, how to get them back to the States. And so I'm on that journey, and I'm learning a lot along the way, and I just thought it would be good to make a channel to share that information, because it was so difficult for me to find that, you know, when I was doing my own research. So today we're going to do something a little bit different. Up until now, my videos have mostly been either driving around Poland to pick things up, or walking through flea markets. But I thought it'd be pretty cool to make a video about how to source them from online. So there are a number of websites like Craigslist and similar to eBay, and you know, every country has their version of eBay or Craigslist, but the one that I typically use here in Poland is called OLX, and so I'm going to sit down and take you through it a little bit, and show you some items that I thought might be interested in checking out, just to get an idea about what's available here. It's something I hope to do pretty regularly, and eventually I hope to make a tutorial video about how to actually use those websites from back home in the States, just to, you know, check out what's over here if you don't actually speak the language. So it's possible to do that with some new tools available through Google. But for now, today, this video is just about looking at the website and checking out some cool stuff that you might be interested in, and discussing the prices for them, and you know, just kind of a walkthrough. So I wanted to start the video with an unboxing. I did purchase something online, and I only paid $20 for it, and I have it right here, if I can pick it up. And so we're going to open that up, and then there were a couple other items here that I actually showed in a previous video, but I picked them up at a flea market, and I did that at the very end of the video. And you know, a flea market walkthrough is like an hour long. It was a really long video, and so I'm not sure how many people made it all the way through to see that at the end. So I wanted to take just a minute and do this unboxing, show these other two items, because I really like them. I'm proud of them, and so I'll do that now, and then we will move on to the website. So okay, thanks for joining me today. Okay, so there she is. This is an industrial Machinist lamp that I purchased for, like I said, $20, and it's actually been rewired, and that's for 220 volt European electricity. A lot of lamps, I think you can just switch the plug on and they should still operate. So let me pull it out and get it set up so you can check it out. Okay, so here we are. This is an early industrial lamp, a Machinist lamp. Like I said, I paid $20 for it, and it has that little extra something special. It has the bracket that would hook onto the side of your desk, and it would be great for a medium or large size desk, just about perfect. It has the jointed articulating arm here with the tensioner, and it has a really cool, stylish housing for the actual bulb. It did come with the new bulb, and it has been completely rewired, like I mentioned before, for 220 volts. So I think just switching the plug would probably work, and it'll still work on 110 as well. So yeah, it's really hard to price these because they're kind of on the rarer side, and when I say these, I mean industrial lamps in general. So unless it was a really common one, it can be difficult to find some comparable prices to know what to charge for them. But the ones that kind of have that little something extra special, like this one does, you can ask a fair amount of money for them. So yeah, what do you think? Okay, so as I mentioned before, I had the other two pieces that I wanted to show, and I'm going to pull one of them up here. When I first saw this lamp, I thought I wasn't sure what it was. I mean, I knew it was a lamp, which it is, but As I mentioned in the other video, that's not how it started its life. This was, it has a manufacturer's label on here and numbers stamped into the brass or bronze. Actually, I think at least that section is bronze. And it started its life as an early welding torch from Germany. And someone has converted it into a lamp. And that conversion was actually, it was actually done for a utilitarian purpose. So it was done not for somebody who is converting lamps from found objects for a flea market, but as you can see here, the cable from when they wired it actually has quite a bit of age to it. So somebody needed a lamp, they took this welding torch and put a wire through it, and now it's a lamp. So it's really interesting because there's nothing on this that looks like it was contrived. I mean, it looks like that's how it was made. So it's really cool, and I really love it. I think, let me see if I can remember what I paid for it. I paid, I think, about $45 for this. And it dates back to the early 1900s, so it's a really old piece, and has some style to it. Yeah, love it. Okay, and then the final thing that I got at the flea market the other day is a Catholic religious relic, and this is definitely bronze. It's super heavy. It's over 5 pounds, so if you can imagine a 5-pound bag of sugar, you know what I'm talking about. And it has some really nice verdigris on it. The patina is beautiful, and I believe that, I'm not Catholic, so I don't know the terminology. I believe it's called a Eucharist, maybe. It's for transporting their communion. So, and very often they're really ornate and they can be gilded in gold, but this was kind of naively made, and it's a very modest thing, but it is overbuilt. It's really thick bronze, and I couldn't tell you what it would be dated to, but I'm guessing that it's probably close to 100 years old. So it looks like there was some hammering going on when they made it, and yeah, there are no kind of modern components, no screws or anything like that in it. It's just one piece, so it's really neat. And if I can remember what I paid for that, I think I paid only $25 for that. And it's very heavy, masculine piece. Would look great in a library, or a display on a desk or on a bookshelf. So yeah, this is the kind of stuff that I'm interested in, and I hope to fill an entire container, and eventually I would love to have an antique booth that shows like Brimfield or Round Top, Texas. And so at the moment, I'm slowly gathering the antiques. I'm going to go through the process of learning how to take care of all the logistics, getting things cleared through customs, and getting them shipped back and get them cleared through American customs, so that I can actually do my antique booth. And I want to make this channel to share the answers to to the challenges in that process, to share that with you, because like I said, it was really hard to find consistent, reliable information for doing that. It's kind of such a niche thing. There's not a whole lot of people doing that, but they are out there, because when you do walk through those antique shows, you see a lot of European antiques. So I think that this channel may be helpful, and if you watch this video as we go through the website today, the items that I selected to discuss were kind of very broadly chosen. I've only got 11 subscribers at the moment of filming this video, but if you've got something that you're interested in, whether it be lamps, whether it be industrial stuff, whether it be porcelain, let me know, and we can make a video specifically dedicated to that, and we can talk about the stuff that's available over here, what the kind of going prices for them are, And that's kind of the nice thing about having a small channel is, yeah, you can accommodate. So let me know if you like this format, and if you do, I will continue to make these videos. So it's really cold out here. As a matter of fact, I'm tempted to use an expression that wouldn't be family safe to describe how cold it is right now. It's mid-November in Poland, and so I'm gonna get back inside and get in front of the computer, and let's get going. Okay, so before sitting down to make the video, I did some browsing on this website, and I just, they have a functionality where you can click the little heart shape and it'll save it to your favorites on any item that you come across. So I did that several times, and I've got a number of items saved in my favorites, and I thought it would be interesting to just kind of take you through them with me, and we can talk a little bit about them, and we can get some insight into what things cost. So when you start out, you should be looking at the home page here, and here's the search window. However, it won't be very functional if you don't speak Polish. So I am planning on making a video in the near future about some workarounds to do a tutorial on just what are the ways in which somebody who is in another country who doesn't speak the language can actually take advantage of this website using Google Translate and a couple plugins that you can install on your Chrome browser. So that being said, the purpose of this video is just to give you a little bit of insight into some of the stuff that's on here, and we can save that tutorial for later. So what I'm going to do here is click on this heart button, and that will take me to the items that I've saved. Like I said, I just spent about an hour or two looking through here and saved some things that kind of stood out to me. So the first item that we're going to visit is an item from a seller that I have purchased from in the past. And I happen to know that he's good for 10 to 15% in terms of negotiation. So I think that's pretty much across the board. The higher the price is on the item that you'll see on this website, the more likelihood there is for deeper negotiation. So that being said, just to give you a little more insight into the currency, for as long as I can remember, I came to Poland the first time in the year 2000. And since then, the Polish zloty, which is their currency, has hovered between 3.5 to 4 Polish zloty for $1 US. So when you look at a price here, as we go through these items, just know that you can divide that by roughly 4, which would give you the US dollar asking price. And then beyond that, very frequently these are up to negotiation. So looking at this old industrial lamp here, it's a scissor lamp. It's pretty cool. And let's look at a few of the pictures here. You can see that it is an authentic antique lamp, and it definitely needs to be cleaned. Needs some TLC. And the asking price for this lamp is $350. So that would put it at about $87-ish. And then you would knock off, let's see, about 40 zloty, $10. Probably looking about $75 for this lamp. So moving on. This is something I saw last minute right before I was getting ready to make the video. The description here says that these architectural salvage pieces are actually bronze, so they're really heavy, heavy cast pieces, which were painted contemporaneously, and there's a nice patina to them. So there's a box of 16 in the collection, and I'm not exactly sure what they are, but the price that he's asking is $770, so it'd be just under $200 for 16 of these bronze ornamental architectural salvage pieces. So, and there's a close-up of an individual piece. So, look like they may have come off a fence, like a fence post top or some kind of ornament. So, okay, moving on. Now this one is nothing super special, but I put it in here because country style is kind of a big thing in interior design, and shabby chic, and there's a lot of crossover with that stuff. And Poland is traditionally has been a very agrarian country, and it's full of farms, and there are porcelain enamel pitchers and dishes and garden artifacts. They're really popular if they come from France, and when I look at them, I don't see any difference at all between the Polish countryside antiques, let's call them, and the French ones. So you'll see that as we kind of go through here. But the asking price for this is 50 zloty, so it's about $11, maybe $12 for this. I've seen them at flea markets all over the place back home in the States, and they're usually like between $30 and $40 at the flea market. Sometimes you can get them cheaper, but yeah, I think it's a pretty good buy. If you find a dealer who has a lot of them, you can get bulk discounting as well. So if you'll notice over here on the right, there's a 5 zloty, it's $1.25. That is the price for shipping, and it's not on every item, but on the small shippable items, this website offers within the country of Poland to act as a middleman. The buyer pays the website, the seller ships it. Once it's received by the buyer, they release the money to the seller. That's a service that is only offered on the small shippable stuff. So, okay, let's keep going here. This one I saved because it's just so weird and quirky. Weird and quirky is a specialty in Poland. There's all kinds of stuff. There are influences. You know, the borders have changed in Poland. Large parts of the country were seceded to other countries after the wars, and there was lots of immigration. People came, and then people ended up leaving, and especially German people, when they went back, they left a lot of their architecture, they left a lot of their stuff behind. And you can find that the Polish flea markets are still full of that stuff to this day. So this is looks like a little, maybe a bedside cabinet or something, and it is carved with crusaders on the door panels here. So you can tell it's authentic and it's kind of old, and they're asking $75 for that. It's a really neat piece of folk art. So this one was super unique because it was actually one of those gigantic wardrobes. You know how brown furniture is not in vogue these days, but at least here in Poland, and I'm pretty sure back home as well, there's a trend in sanding those down and bleaching the wood and getting a lighter, airier feel to the pieces, which makes them much more sellable. This is a really unique piece because this person took a wardrobe and cut it out and turned it into a bench. So I think it's spectacular. Very clever thing to do with that, to repurpose it and upcycle it. Not a big fan of upcycling. I like things in their original form, showing their age, but this is definitely an exception. If we back up here, we can see that it still has pegs there for hanging your clothing on, and it would be an amazing bench for a hallway. So, and it is an authentic antique wardrobe, so yeah, it is really cool. The asking price for the wardrobe is roughly $125, so I think that's a steal. That's awesome. You negotiate a little bit off of that, and if you were shipping a container back, which I intend to do, that leaves a lot of potential profit in that item. I think so. So, okay. Now, this is another item that's pretty unique to this area. Poland has a really rich mining history, and there are a lot of these old telephones that would be down in the mines, and they're explosion proof. And I believe that they can actually be rewired to work on a modern landline system. So if somebody knew what they were doing. So, but they're really cool, and they all look kind of similar. Most of them are like a steel gray color, but you can pick these up for I would say between $50 and $150, depending on the particular one. So, how awesome would that look in an apartment with like an industrial furniture theme going on? So, yeah, that's really cool. The asking price on this is about $122 or so. So at the current exchange rate. So, continuing with the mining theme, this is a vase that was carved from, it says charcoal, but I think it's graphite. It looks like graphite to me. And it is probably something that was given to a miner when he retired from the company. So that's pretty cool. And it looks like about $70 for that. And that's pretty amazing, because that's hand done. So that's not something that was machined, or it wasn't made in a mass production setting. That's an artisan piece, and it has history, and it has really a lot of collectability because of its mining theme. So yeah, and it's $70. Oh man, can't go wrong there. So the next thing that I have here is a table / bench. It's a really large piece, and Poland has a different kind of a court system where there can be multiple judges in a single case. And this particular desk sat in a courtroom where 3 judges would sit during the proceedings. And this was salvaged. Probably they updated the furniture, and this was salvaged. And because it has those 3 slots there, a person could use it as a really oversized, very impressive personal desk by sitting there in the center, and then they would have all that real estate left and right. So it's a really old piece of furniture. It's very hefty. It's well made. It's got a really cool backstory, and they are asking $750 for it. That is before negotiation. So not everything has to be gigantic and super impressive. This is a vintage medical table. The glass is currently missing, but I thought it had a little bit of charm to it. It wasn't super expensive at only $25. It does have some age. It's probably mid-century, and with a little piece of glass on the top, it would make an amazing little flower stand. So it has some character to it with the bent legs, and yeah, it looks pretty cute. So a hanging lamp, or cloche. This is an iron piece. It's quite expensive at about $85, but it's really a giant, impressive piece. So this would hang from a ceiling, probably in a barn or an outbuilding. So go look at that there. Just for reference, none of these were selected because they were necessarily the perfect buy for purchasing to resell. I just thought they were kind of interesting items that caught my eye, and if someone were to really get down to the nitty-gritty to look into buying stuff for filling a container, they want to do a little more research and find those really great deals. Once they picked out the stuff and try to negotiate further. But in these items, the prices weren't astronomical. They were pretty reasonable, and they were unique, kind of quirky things that I thought would be interested in checking out, just to kind of get a feel for what's available. So I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos lately about how to select the right antiques. It's not very easy to find good information on this subject. But one thing I did learn is that it's super important to, kind of follow the current trends in interior design. So I've been reading articles and looking at magazines, and one of the things this year that is kind of on the in is warm and neutral and bold but not oversaturated 1970s stuff, which I never thought I would see 70s stuff come back in, but because they say it's in, I thought I'd include this particular item. These are a pair of chairs, and they're super boho, and they're velvet covered, and it doesn't look like they've been touched. They're still original, so the covering is not in great condition, but it shows the natural wear, and they're just good, honest chairs. So they've got some fringe around and some stitching in here for the design, likely hand done, and definitely got that earthy tone, got the boho fringe thing going on, and they're in pretty good condition with a little bit of wear on the top of the back there. So you can see that that's good solid wood, not pressed particle board or anything like that. So price-wise, they're priced pretty well. It looks like $125 for the pair. So once again, that's negotiable. So I don't usually pay much attention to clocks. They are everywhere here. I think most likely because here in Europe, everybody had one in their home. The thing about that is you really have to know your business if you're going to deal in clocks. So I don't know anything about them. I'm not super interested. I tend to lean toward industrial lamps and vintage lighting. Clocks are just kind of not it for me. But this piece was pretty unique. I hadn't seen anything like it before. So basically it's all hand carved. It's got an eagle there, and the columns are interesting. It's tall and lean, and it's got a lot of negative space in it there. And on the back, you can see it's got a fully formed clock box to house the inner workings of the clock. And so it's complete, even though it doesn't look like it is. But yeah, it's neat. It's hand carved. And so I thought I'd just include that in. The price that they're asking for that is $250. You tell me, is that a good price? Is it overpriced? I don't know, but seems like a pretty good deal. I found these by accident. I was searching for something else, and these are some candle boxes, I think. You put like a lit light inside these glass boxes, and they're actually pretty heavy duty. I was looking at some of the pictures here, and the metal that's used is not like that rolled steel that's wrapped in hollow. It's actually kind of quality metal. So you would open this door here and I guess put a lamp in there, maybe an oil lamp or even a candle or something. And how cool would those things be in front of your house, up on your porch, on either side of your door? Those are pretty neat, and they definitely make an impression. So, the price. $250 for the pair. Okay, these are something that I see a lot, and they're getting actually harder to find. They're from the Cold War era, and you would find them in doctor's office, dentist offices. You'd find them in chemistry labs, and they're really neat. I think they're perfect for a bathroom. It's like a small size and white, and they'll go with anything, and they have that kind of industrial shabby chic look. They can go with lots of different styles, and you can pick them up for not very much if you can find them, because they've kind of caught on, and they're getting snapped up. But this particular one right here is they're asking about $50 for it, and that is solid thick gauge steel on it. They didn't mess around. Back in the day, they made that stuff really well, and it looks like the glass is all intact here. And for 50 bucks, if you can't flip that, I don't know. Maybe you should be thinking of a different hobby. So, So the 70s look was in. The next two lamps I picked out for that reason alone. And this is a Rattan lamp. I don't think it's super valuable or anything, but it has like a boho look to it, and I think it'd probably be pretty quick to sell to somebody who was decorating their apartment. So they're only asking $20 for it, so I think it's a no-brainer. You could flip that without much trouble at all. So, and then I think the next lamp was also kind of 1970s inspired. More of an elegant boho, I guess you could say. This is what they call here in Poland a quinquette. I think, is it sconce? Maybe a sconce back home. But it is very heavy. I think, if I recall, they put the weight of this thing in the description. And it would bolt right to your wall, and it swings out, and then it can swing back for space saving. So it says here, I don't have my glasses on, but oh yeah, it weighs about 10 pounds. So it's not a light little thing. So, okay. And then they're asking $50 for that lamp. Okay, another boho piece, also 70s. Like I said, 3 of them, sorry. This is I think it's a Goletsky lamp. You can look him up. He's like a mid-century modern guy from Poland. I'm going to insert some information about him here. And this kind of stuck out to me because it had this really boho looking thing here, this hippie style lampshade. And it has very thin elements to it. And there it is without the lampshade. And it's got a little table there for your knickknacks or whatever it is that you have. The price that they're asking for that is about $30 for that lamp. And that is a designer lamp. So this is something that just kind of stuck out to me. I don't even know what it is. I don't even want to guess what it is. But I think it would be really cool in a hallway to throw your keys in when you come in, get them up out of the way. And the thing that really sold me on it was this large iron ball at the top. You can see that this is like a cast iron piece. So it's very heavy duty, and it definitely has a look to it. It's got the chippy paint going on, so there's a lot of interior design themes that it could fit with. And yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Maybe, now that I look at it, it might have been designed to mount the other way and have a lamp, so it's upside down? Maybe? I don't know, but I kind of like it the way it is. I'd like to have something like that in my hallway and throw my keys in it, and yeah, it's pretty cool. Okay, moving on. Now here's my favorite thing. It's industrial antique and vintage lighting. This one is, they call it a broken lamp. What it just means that it has a articulating pivot point in the middle, and it was probably a Machinist lamp. It has the clamp that would hook onto the side of your table, and you could pull it over your workspace. But yeah, you can see, I don't know if you can see, there are a number of components on here that are either brass or bronze, and it's very well made. I think you'll find that most of the stuff of this age that was made for manufacturing industry is really well made, and that's part of the reason why I like it so much. But I don't know if that would be brass or bronze, most likely brass. But yeah, this has got a kind of a cool, unique look to it, and I may even call this person about this lamp. The price that they're asking for it is about $55. So it is, you know, it's really long, so it has a lot of reach. One thing that I'm really interested in, and I don't have any of them saved here, I'll try to do it in a future video, I really like the Cold War military desks that they have here, or workstation tables. So there were mobile labs. I don't know if you can imagine like a train wagon or something, but they were actually vehicles for over-road transport. Communications trailers, all kinds of trailers for on-location work in the for military stuff. And all of those trailers had these really cool industrial desks, benches, workspaces. As a matter of fact, I'm going to insert a picture right here of a couple of those. And I'm really fascinated with them. I just think that, like, if you're doing an industrial design interior, it's kind of hard to find the big major pieces that really work. And very often these desks have like Soviet writing on them, and cool drawers that don't function the way most desks do. And they're really cool. So I'm really interested in those, and I was looking for some to put in. I didn't find any today that really spoke to me. They come up from time to time. But this thing came up, and it was pretty unique as well. I just like the utilitarian style. And I don't know what you would use this for. It looks like it's a dentist chair for a field unit. It looks pretty brutal. I don't know. But I don't think that's the original paint job, maybe. But it's an interesting piece. Definitely a conversation piece. And, you know, there is definitely collectors for things like this. I want to see if I can dig up a whole German bunker and send it back maybe someday, because I just know that there'll be a collector for that. I don't think anybody's ever sent one back. So here's a wooden box. It looks like they're asking about $60 for this. Let's take a look at that and see why they would be asking so much. Brass corners, and it's got inlaid, I don't think that's mother of pearl, maybe alabaster. A lot of inlay work here, and it looks like the wood is really nice. So keepsake jewelry box. Very heavy duty fittings on the box, really overbuilt. So yeah, that's cool. These, I saved this because I thought it was interesting. It says petroleum on the can here. And there's so many collectors for automobile stuff. This, I believe, is actually not an automobile can. I think this was for filling oil lamps. And I've seen a number of these with collectors who have oil lamps. That's why I suspect that. But for somebody who collects oil cans, it is an oil can. It does say petroleum on it. Petrol is the term for fuel in England, across the pond. And yeah, I think that it would definitely have a home in a person's collection that collects automobile stuff. I would just look right at home in an oil can collection. So, and I believe this one is overpriced. They want $60 for it. The reason it's porcelain enamel, that makes it nice. It is steel or iron, and the reason I say it's overpriced is because I do see these quite frequently, and usually they're priced closer to $25 to $30. So, but I thought it was worth mentioning, so I put it on here in spite of that high price. So, okay, so here's a hammered brass mirror. It's kind of a small one, as I remember. It's 36 centimeters by 27 centimeters, so it's like the size of a sheet of paper. But, you know, there's a lot of attention to detail, and oh wow, I don't know if that's sterling. It looks like maybe it could be silver on the back there. Not sure. And they're asking about $35 for that. This is a chandelier. It is wrought iron, solid iron that was in a forge and somebody hammered it out. Not a cheap piece, $750, but it is a big, imposing piece that was handmade by a craftsman. There it is, hanging up on a high ceiling. So another chandelier, $60. This is kind of cool. I like that brass and ebonized look. So this probably needs to be rewired, but it does have kind of a look to it. Not the kind of chandelier you see every day. So probably came out of a theater or maybe like a library or something, I'm not sure. This is a mid-century modern clock, and it's the kind that you put the key in. And yeah, I thought it was really interesting. It has a clean look, makes you think 1950s the moment you look at it. And yeah, it comes with a key that you can see here. Hang it on your kitchen wall. Maker information stamped into it. And yeah, something Don Draper would probably have in his kitchen. The asking price is about $62 for that. Got a dog barking outside, so bear with me on that. Here is a pre-World War I piece of pottery, and as I remember, this has some contemporaneous repairs. So at some time over the decades, this piece was repaired. But if you like collecting vintage and antique pottery that's got a story to it and history, this is your ticket. This thing looks amazing. I mean, it's just got the look. It's bang on. So, don't recall what they were asking for that. I don't think it was very cheap. Yeah, about $60 for that vase. It's a large piece too, so I know that the stoneware collectors out there, they're willing to pay up for their stuff. So I think that's a pretty good buy. Baskets everywhere. This is a really large one. They're asking, wow, not very much, about $8 for that. It's an oversized woven basket. I believe it was for, yeah, this hay, a giant demijohn wine bottle would fit in this basket. And probably somebody absconded with the wine and left this behind, and somebody's trying to sell it. So that's a pretty good price. Typically you can buy those wine bottles with the basket and the hay. Sometimes they have the metal baskets, which are really nice. And you can get them for about $20 altogether. Dirty hay included. So this guy here was neat. You can tell by the items that I select, I'm really into the industrial look. But I do like the industrial look that shows a craftsman's touch to it, that somebody took care. So beyond utilitarian, there's also a bit of artistry to it. The description on this says that this was a set of lockers from the occupation of Germany after World War II inside Poland. So the price they're asking is $75. You can probably get that cheaper here. Something similar. And here's a unique lamp. That's not very common. I do a lot of browsing and scouring for industrial lamps, and this is something that I haven't seen very often. So it does have a maker on it, AEG, and it even has a model. So if you're interested, you could probably look that up, do some research on it. $50 for that lamp. Don't know if it's a good buy for resale, but you can tell that it's high quality, and it's got an articulating arm there. It could be hung on a wall over a door or be used as a desk lamp. And here's the maker information. Yeah, 50 bucks. I don't know. I think I'd be interested in that just for my own personal collection. So Okay, wrapping up here a little bit. Let's see, there are several other things. This door is really amazing. They're asking $1,500 for it, but look at this thing. It has got a lot of story to it. So this is the inside, and it has the like Wizard of Oz door that you can pop open and tell Dorothy and her friends to go away. But it's got an amazing look. The door's not rotted out. Looks like they, I don't know if that's the same door or not. The coloring and the lighting there was different, but yeah, it's a double door, and these are kind of the unique ones that would have been on government buildings or large apartment buildings. $1,500 is quite a bit. I imagine that would probably be able to be negotiated to $1,000 to purchase that. Let me know in the comments if there's room to make money on that. If I paid $1,000 for a set of doors like that, would that be a mistake, or is that something that I'd earn money on? I hope everybody is willing to, I mean, I would like to build some conversation through this YouTube channel, and so if you have any comments, please comment below so that I'll be excited just to hear from somebody. So, but if you know anything about antique doors, and if purchasing these for $1,000 would be a good buy, I would love to know it. Okay, let's wrap this up here. Have a few other things. These soda water bottles, they actually go for quite a bit back home. They can. And looks like about 25 bucks here. You can pick those up. Oh, this was kind of neat. I don't know how old this is, but it belongs in a garden for growing ivy and vines or maybe grapes on. It's a giant basket made from rebar, I guess, some kind of a rebar, heavy duty iron. And the reason I saved it here is because if you have an antique booth at like a Round Top or one of the other large national antique shows, this is kind of a big major piece you can put outside and decorate it up and kind of set a mood, especially if you're into shabby chic or country or whatever. You can put all kinds of flowers and foliage on that, and it would make a great deco piece for your antique booth. So they're asking $100 from that. The challenge is transporting it. If you don't have a van here, I don't know how you'd be able to pick that up. But I think that's about it for today. And I'm going to try to make several of these. Maybe I'll do about one a week. So if you're interested in seeing any of those, please subscribe. And if you hit that little bell thing, it'll tell you when I upload a new one. One thing I would hope is that if anybody sees this video and they're interested in a certain style of antique, or they're into glassware, or they're into, I mean, there's so many websites with glassware already, so many YouTube channels with glassware, and I'm not so interested in that. But if there's something that you're really into and you'd like to get more information on, like old tools or old lamps or little coffee tables or hand-carved stuff or any of that, just let me know, and I'll try to make a video where I just focus on those particular items for you. So until then, thank you for watching my video. Like I said, I'm gonna try to make a video pretty soon to show you how to manage websites like this, Poland, Czech Republic, Germany, anywhere, and use Google Translate plugins on your Google Chrome browser, in combination with Google Translate through the Google search engine, to be able to use these yourself and locate them yourself. There's the big elephant in the room, which is like, if you wanted to buy something, how would you get it back? And that's a challenge for the future. I'm in that process, learning about that right now, and as I get information, I'll share it with you. But it is fun to kind of look and see what's available and do your research. And if someone was thinking about doing an antique shopping sourcing trip over here, this is a great place to start looking at these local online marketplaces where you can buy from the local yokel, not the guy who put it in his store and he's trying to pay for his brick and mortar prices. So the people who are listing this that don't want it as part of their furniture in their apartment anymore, they're gonna negotiate with you. The guy at the flea market here, or the antique show, they're kind of set prices, going prices for almost everything. So yeah, so hopefully you'll find this video useful, and let me know if you like it, and I'll try to keep making them. Talk to you soon.